which I think just deserves its own little headline, Spider-Man. I mean, literally every other day we have William Dafoe just yesterday was spotted on the set of Spider-Man.
Is that confirmed?
I don't think it's confirmed. Rumor is that he was on set, just like the rumor is Tobey Maguire. Rumor is, everyone's on set. DoorDash guy drops off food to Andrew Garfield, and he's in Atlanta, and now he's, So I guess the question for you, Amanda, especially going off of this quote by Tom Holland, he teases that Spider-Man 3 will be the most ambitious standalone Spider-Man movie ever, which, not to bring up Civil War, but we know what happened. I know you think that that's an Avengers film, which, it is. But what's your expectations for Spider-Man 3 and this cast? How's John Watts going to handle all this?
I'm excited for it. Especially with the way Far From Home ended, I think that this is a perfect route if they're going to bring in Charlie Cox as Daredevil, as his lawyer, to try to help him out and stuff like that. But I do think that with Doctor Strange in the mix, multiverse is a possibility, and then we have Doc Ock and Electro confirmed. So anything is possible, but I'm stoked, and I hope that they don't ruin it by putting Toby or Andrew in the trailer if they're there, because that's also not confirmed. That's a rumor as well. Yeah. I don't want them in the trailer, but I think John Watts, he's able to handle a big cast of characters, because I think he kind of did that in Far From Home with all the students in that case. And I think that he did a great job. But Spider-Man 3, as he says, is the most ambitious standalone. Yeah, I mean, it'll be perfect if it's a multiverse and having all those people. Whereas with Civil War, it didn't really flow for me in that way because I wanted it to be more intimate, as we spoke about before, but I'm not going to bring it up again, but I just did anyway. But yeah, I think Spidey's going to be great for that reason. And the more the merrier at this point, because we did it with Spider-Man 3 back in the day, even though it was bad.
Yeah.
Classified as one of the worst, but I loved it. It was good. Yeah. It was good trash, if you want to say that. But but yeah, I think it'll be possible, and it's going to be the best Spider-Man movie ever. So I think
hey, fingers crossed on that, man. Hey, Chris, just your thoughts again on this cast. What's the story, man? How are we gonna introduce? And again, going back to John Watts, they did announce him as the director of Fantastic Four, which is huge. That is the Marvel's first family. That's a huge IP. So I am to assume that whatever John Watts is doing with Spider-Man 3, Kevin Feige's like, you know what? The Russo brothers did something for us with all the films, but we like John Watts. We want to keep you around. Your thoughts on Spider-Man 3? And again, Tom Holland saying this is the most ambitious superhero standalone movie ever.
Yeah, I get it. If it's what we have been hearing, it should be like that. And I talked about it in another stream, but I think that when I walked out of Endgame, it was so epic. And I remember telling you, I was like, I was so sad, because I was like, damn, this is then what else? What can they give me that will even match this? And until now, I'm hearing this Spider-Man is this is it. This is how you keep the people this is gonna make so much money. I mean, COVID and all that kind of stuff and all that, whatever. I would imagine, the country will be vaccinated by summer. So obviously, if this comes out in December, we should be fine to go to theaters.
Yeah.
Famous last words. Chris Tate jinxed it. Whatever. But the point is, I'm this, and yeah, to Amanda's point, I do not want to see these kids in the trailer. I just want them to just swing in, and I'm just balls deep in some popcorn. I'm I just want that moment, that we've been missing so much in a movie theater experience that only a movie like this could bring to us. So super excited. I want them to kind of limit the rumors that I don't want to hear about it. I just do it. We're so close. We're not close, but we're close enough. I just don't want to. I want to stay pure and just be okay, this is what we're having. So super, super excited.
It's so crazy, and Amanda and Chris brought us up as far as these. How are all these not necessarily leaks, but how is all this stuff coming out? I think of Endgame, and particularly the trailer, the way they marketed that. I know, the week before the movie came out, some spoilers got out about the Avengers Assemble scene, but prior to that, no one knew what was going on. Why Sometimes I'm one of the believers that believes that sometimes media studios put things out there just to create buzz, especially when we're in a pandemic. Like, hey, don't forget, we got Spider-Man. Hey, go ahead and leak that news that you went to Andrew Garfield's apartment in Atlanta just to kind of get the hype going. But it's just so interesting that all this stuff is being leaked out for this film. I don't know if it's intentional, if it's because it's Sony's project too, and they're not like fully a MCU film. But either way, as I digress, Ankit, man, Spider-Man 3, the most ambitious superhero movie of all time, man. I'm going to put the pressure on you, Ankit. If you are John Watts, man, what are you cooking up for us in December, man? What's this movie about? What are we expecting from this film, man?
I mean, I think what all of us are thinking, it's going towards the Sinister Six film, right? So I think that's what it's going to go towards. I think we might get a surprise fourth Spider-Man film. I don't think this will end in a trilogy. I think maybe this movie is going to pull people from different universes to build out this Sinister Six, and then we'll get a proper Sinister Six movie. Because if they try to jam all that into this, it's just not going to work. So I personally think that's where they're heading towards. Spider-Man is my favorite comic IP. Like, he is my guy. So if even a fraction of what they're saying in this is true, I'll die. Like, you will not have me in the next stream because I'll just be like, "Yep, this is it." I'll just yell, "Avenge me!" and then pass out. But I'm really excited. But I'm afraid that what's going to happen is like similar to what happened with The Last Jedi, where fan expectation is going to go one way, and then what they do might just like piss people off because they've like made their minds up that this is what is happening and this is what should happen, and they've gotten themselves excited. So I am trying to like not read this news because I feel half of it might not even be true, but I just don't want to get to that point where I'm like, this has to happen, and then when it doesn't, I'll be disappointed.
I love the subtitle here.
Please let that be the title.
I love it. But going back to just expectations, man. I think continue where you were going, man. With that,
I was done. Yeah.
Oh, I think you're so right, man. It's a lot of pressure, especially when you say this is the most whenever you say this is the most whatever, it obviously puts pressure on the film. And we know expectations for now. If something's not a perfect movie, if it's not a 10, then it's trash. And there's there's no in between for some people, besides people like us that can kind of, we can criticize films and take what we like from it. But it's a lot of pressure, man. And I think, this turnaround, Spider-Man has come out every single 2 years, 2017, 2019, now 2021. This is a quick turnaround to have the most ambitious film of all time. So I'm not saying I'm nervous or scared, but it just feels like, it feels like they're playing catch up. I don't know, there's some weird way they feel like they're playing catch up, or like they're trying to do so much with Tom Holland, because I think inevitably Sony is going to be like, thank you, Marvel, for building our stock. We're just going to take them back. Him versus Venom, him versus Morbius, and we're not going to deal with MCU. Thank you so much for helping us, but we're just going to take Spider-Man back. So it almost feels like they're just like, we got to do Sinister Six. We got to do, Into the Multiverse in our own version, or I should say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We're also Miles Morales, that they want to throw him in the mix before he heads out. So it makes me a little nervous that Sony and Marvel and Kevin Feige is like, hey, let's just do the best storylines we could do before he's going to leave in a couple of years. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Spider-Man, Tom Holland is in the MCU for the foreseeable future. But if I'm Sony, I'm the CEO of Sony, I'm just like, you know what? We're going to do one more film with the MCU, and we're going to take him back and have him versus Tom Hardy. We're going to have our own Sinister Six and kind of go from there. So I hope I'm wrong, but I am really excited for this film. If rumors are to be true, we hopefully will get maybe a teaser on Super Bowl Sunday, potentially tomorrow. I don't know if it's too early. It's December. I hope the film doesn't get pushed back, but we'll see.
I hope it doesn't. See. I'll cry. I'll actually cry.
Me and you both, and it's so interesting that it's the set photos a couple weeks ago. They showed that there was a Christmas film that they were in Christmas, and now it's coming out in Christmas, but it was supposed to come out in the summer. So it's another happy accident for Marvel there. But again, guys, let us know in the chat, those watching it live, your thoughts on this, as well as in the comment section if you're watching this on the replay. What do you want to see in Spider-Man 3? What are the expectations that you have, as well as let us know about this comment by Tom Holland. Will this be the most ambitious standalone superhero film of all time? So